communism. And here's the moment that Joe Welch fired back.
You've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?
Have you no sense of decency? We want to get some historical perspective on this, see how it compares to the Republican Party in the past. Bob Walker was a Republican congressman from 1977 to 1997, representing the great state of Pennsylvania. Thanks very much for coming in, Bob Walker. You listened to that clip there of Joe Welch taking on Joe McCarthy, and you hear all of the debates today about the degradation of American society that comes from the top. Bob Corker has said. How different does it seem today from previous times in American history?
Well, it is
your
different.
experience.
No, it is different, and it's been made different, I think, by social media. Because what we have is the ability of people to divide themselves into tribes at the present time, and that has an impact on the whole of politics. And sadly, it has a deleterious effect on political dialogue. I think that it is a matter of concern.
Speak about the Republican Party in particular, your party for so many years. Is this becoming a party where somebody like Jeff Flake doesn't belong anymore?
Well, I don't know that that's the case. I mean, he's in part reacting to his constituency. His constituency in Arizona is changing. It's not a Barry Goldwater constituency anymore. It's a purple state. I think that what he's found is that he's out of touch with both the conservatives and the progressives in Arizona, and so it's become very difficult for him. But again, this kind of tribalism makes it very difficult for politicians to walk between the various groups that impact them.
Bob, one of the lines in that speech yesterday went like this: there's a sickness in our system and it's contagious. How much more damage to American liberty do we need to witness in silence before we count ourselves as complicit in that damage? Does it disappoint you that some Republicans are just sitting there in silence?
Well, I think that it's disappointing that we have that kind of dialogue going on. I mean, I don't think that there are a lot of people sitting in silence. I mean, I think that there are a lot of people who look at what we've seen over the last few months and cringe at it. On the other hand, we also see a policy direction which the country is responding to. I mean, the fact is that Congress has passed in the House about 300 bills. Those haven't come out of the Senate at the present time, but some of those 300 bills, for instance, addressed regulatory reform. We see that as something which is improving the economy and so on. And so I think a lot of people are separating out the policy successes from some of the cringeworthy moments that we get in the political dialogue.
And if Welch thought that the contagion back in the 60s was McCarthyism and communism and the sort of paranoia that it sowed in American society, is there a comparison with today? And is the populism and the nationalism that we see not just in America but over here in Europe as well?
Well, I'm not certain that I would go as far as to say that this is a McCarthyism kind of situation. But there's no doubt that there is a retreat toward nationalism in many countries. And I think it's because people are fearful about all the change they see around them. I mean, we're going through a massive amount of technological change, of economic change, political change, cultural change. And a lot of people are sitting there very scared about this, and so they retreat to nationalism. And the recent Austrian election certainly was a retreat in that direction. So this isn't just an American phenomenon by any means.
Bob, if you had the president's ear and could ask him to do one thing, what would it be?
Don't conduct personal vendettas. You know, as long as you're talking about the policies that you're pursuing, you have a vast number of people in the country who are with you.